Okay. I think we're here. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, everybody. Okay, the recording has started. Hi, everybody. It's Uncle Bruce here. Stock Markets with Bruce. Sorry for the choppy beginning here. How you doing? Got my sweatshirt on. Okay, look, it's Tuesday morning, May the 12th, 2026, and to no one's surprise, the eBay board of directors have rejected the takeover offer from GameStop to take over eBay. Shock? Well, no. This I called for this the moment I heard about this deal. Ryan Cohen said it's going to happen. The CEO of GameStop. Everybody that follows this deal knows that was coming. Apparently, however, the so-called massive media out there, the so-called Wall Street media that is completely against this deal, oh, this was a shock to them, and this is a major story, and it must be covered. I mean, take a look at this. I'm going to pop up these logos, see if this works. Ryan Cohen's saga gets new twist as eBay shoots down GameStop's takeover offer, and then eBay rejects GameStop's 56 billion takeover bid. Both stocks are lower. eBay rejects GameStop's 56 billion takeover proposal. Wall Street Journal, Investors Business Daily, and so on and so on. I mean, it's just this is so massive news. Like, give me a break. What's going to happen next? I'll tell you. First of all, in the pre-market this morning, I noticed on, I think it was eBay. Here it is. Here, this is a few minutes ago. So your quotes are changed by now. Welcome to the world. Look, eBay was down 68 cents. If this deal is dead in the water, and don't mind me, I'm just looking at another live quote here, trying to get an update. If this deal is so dead in the water, why is eBay still at 107.45? I'm even showing it now, 107.53. If the board of directors is rejecting this offer, then there is no offer for shareholders to consider in theory. And this stock should go back to $80 a share because, after all, the board of directors are rejecting it. What about the GameStop shares? Well, let's take a look at those. GameStop shares a few minutes ago were 22.26. I have them right now at 22.50 or so in the pre-market. Look at how the stock's been going up all morning from the last night's overnight lows. This stock should be $15 a share, or maybe it should go up because there's no deal. There is a deal on the table, and I'm going to tell you how this thing is going to work out. Do not believe the gobbledygook coming from Wall Street media, because they are completely on board with eBay management. They are locked in with the big money boys at Vanguard, BlackRock, and Vanguard, and all the big outfits. Understand a couple of things, okay? The big players, the institutional players, own both stocks. So they own GameStop shares, they own eBay shares. GameStop owns 5% of eBay already. So GameStop is actually a shareholder of eBay. GameStop, the company, owns more shares in eBay than the board of directors combined own of eBay. Okay, the board of directors of eBay own 2/3 of 1% of all the shares outstanding. And in the last 2 or 3 years, even the last year, the board of directors has sold $40 million of eBay into the market to cash in on their hefty and generous stock options as part of their so-called compensation. Okay, the board of directors hauls in over 3-4 million a year in compensation. These guys are not going to just give up without a big fat juicy payoff. And the senior management of eBay are terrified of what Ryan Cohen is going to do when he takes over control of eBay. And my opinion, I think he will take over control of eBay, and I'll tell you how in a minute. He's going to offload a whole bunch of these top-notch people who are getting millions in stock compensation plus massive salaries and bonuses that they've jiggered to make it appear that they're so successful. Look, if I were running eBay, I would be doing and had been doing the same game for the last 10 years, last 5 years, however long I've been running that joint. I would absolutely set it up. It's done at Amazon. It's done at Facebook. It's done in my opinion, it's done at all major public corporations. The senior management have got such incredible golden parachutes, incredible, highly lucrative employment contracts with stock options left, right, and center, all kinds of perks. And when an outsider like Ryan Cohen comes in and says, hey, I'm going to take over your company and I'm going to become the CEO at no salary. I'm going to take over the board of directors and there will be no stock options. There will be no juicy payoffs for the senior executives. As a matter of fact, we're going to clean house. We're going to unload half the employees. You think the management and the board of directors are panicking right now? You bet your ass they're panicking right now. And they will pull out all stops through Wall Street connections to plant stories in the media about all kinds of shenanigans going on with this deal. Trust me on this one. But here's probably what's going to happen. There are 3 likely outcomes of this takeover offer. The most unlikely outcome is where GameStop tries to round up 20% of the shareholders to call for a special meeting to have the board of directors reconsider the offer. That's not going to happen. The second one is a proxy fight. The second likely idea, and that's where the company is eBay will try to rally shareholders to have a vote at the annual meeting to try to vote out the directors. That, in my opinion, should not be the way to go for GameStop whatsoever. The number one way that GameStop, if they're serious that they're going to take over this company, is they go directly to the shareholders. They just make a tender offer for the stock. Now, what does that mean? In plain English, what I'm trying to tell you here is a company like GameStop, which says, look, we're prepared to offer half cash, half stock to take the company over. They only need 51% of the vote, 50.0000001% of the shares to effectively have control of the company. All right, they own 5% as it is. They could theoretically and may already be effectively approaching other individuals at the company, but other shareholders like the former founder, I don't think so. Meg Whitman, I doubt it, but yeah, they could, and they could probably rustle up a total of 15% of the stock. But that's not the way you do it. What you do is you offer, you make a tender offer to the shareholders at large, all shareholders, and what you offer is your deal, $62.50 cash and shares of GameStop, which will eventually become shares of Gme, if you want to give it a name. What will the new company be called? It'll be called eBay. But let's say the combined company, Gme, everyone will be a Gme shareholder. It's a question of how many shares do eBay shareholders have and how many shares will GameStop shareholders have of the new Gme company. And I'm going to guess 65 to 70% of all the stock outstanding will be held by eBay present-day shareholders who will have been paid $62.50 a share for each share they tendered, plus they're going to get stock in the Gme company. And I'm going to guess it's 2.5 shares. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Wall Street makes such a big deal about this. It's such nonsense. You put the tender offer out there and you make it good for 90 days, 60 days, 30 days. You give it a time frame. GameStop apparently has arranged a $20 billion line of credit through TD. And I'm sure through TD, they have gone all over the place. And maybe they've aligned up even more than $20 billion in financing. There might be $25 billion in financing available. Because what is GameStop borrowing money for? To buy eBay, the company. So what's the asset that GameStop is putting up as collateral? eBay itself. It's a self-bought deal. It's like the president of eBay going to a bank and trying to take the company public by borrowing money from a bank to buy the public company and now make it his personal company. I'm borrowing money from my own assets. This is all this is. This is a nothing burger deal. There's nothing to this deal. The key here is if a tender offer is made by GameStop to the eBay shareholders directly, going around the board of directors, because after all, as soon as this deal goes down, those board of directors are out of there. They're not going to last very long, okay? All GameStop needs is 50.0001% of the shareholders to vote on the deal. I can tell you the first 5% that will vote yes on the deal, GameStop itself, they'll say, yeah, we'll take this offer. No question. So now they got 5% of the company. They need 45% more. Now, who will and who will not tender and why? That's really the question. And sure, the board of directors will reject the offer, will tell the shareholders don't take this deal because we're better for the company than Ryan Cohen is. The shareholders of eBay, who are not being paid by eBay to do what they're doing, they're not employees of the company, they're simply investors out there, have to ask themselves, am I better off taking $62.50 off the table on a takeover offer plus get stock in the company and then in effect have 65-70% of the company anyway, and now it's being run by a guy who's going to cut $2 billion in overheads like fast, and it's going to take this company from making $2 million a year in profit to about $4.5 billion a year in profit, plus the 1,600 store architecture that GameStop is offering, so that eBay sellers, who are the customers, can go to a retail location to deliver their merchandise to get it graded, these collectibles, to list it, to be paid from there. The integration between GameStop and eBay is perfect for a huge swath of this business going forward. Again, this is my opinion. I think this is a great fit. I think it's the right manager at the right time, and it's time to say goodbye to the big, fat, bloated management level at eBay, employee level at eBay, and the massively overcompensated board of directors of eBay. But that's, again, just me. It's my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. I have no skin in the game. I'm just a guy trying to tell you in plain English how this deal is going down. And I think, in my personal opinion, if Ryan Cohen has nailed down his $20 billion in financing borrowing ability through the TD connection, then this is a done deal. He'll go the tender route, and he'll just go straight to the shareholders and say, we're offering this deal to the shareholders. No matter what GameStop shares trade at right now, at the end of the day, you're going to get $125 of value on this closure of this deal. And we're doing a 90-day, a 60-day, whatever window. The lawyers will help figure this out on GameStop's side. And for the eBay shareholders, if they start to say, yeah, we're taking this deal, the vote starts coming in, and they quickly get to 35-45% of acceptance, then they're within 5-10% of getting 50.00001% of the shareholders saying, yeah, we'll take this deal. This is going to happen. And the next logical step will be the golden parachutes of all the directors, golden parachute payouts of the senior officers of eBay. They'll all be, let go bit by bit. They'll have their exit interviews. Some will stay, some will leave. It's a transition. A year from now, it'll be Gme. Let's just call it the new eBay. And the company will be a lot different looking and a lot more efficient. And for the shareholders of the new corporation, it could well be that eBay shareholders get 2.5 shares of the new company for every share they have, plus the cash. And the shares are trading at $50 a share on the open market based on the profitability of the new combined corporation. And they got themselves $100 in stock, or $125 in stock, plus $62.50 in cash. They're actually sitting at $187 instead of $125. The board of directors have not proposed a better deal to the eBay shareholders. Remember that? They only have 2/3 of 1% of the stock. They don't own any shares. They get massive payoffs for being directors, and they haven't come back and said we can do better than that. what we're doing with this company and how we're growing this company and how profitable eBay is going to be, the stock's going to be much higher than $125 a share. They're trading at 107 right now. If I'm going to look right now live as I'm sitting here at 8:16 Eastern Time on May the 12th, 2026. They're at 107.26 is where they are. The board of directors are so great, and the management of eBay is just so fantastic. And these shares should be trading higher, higher than 125 a share, based on the conviction of the existing shareholders that eBay is going to be way more valuable than GameStop could ever make it. And that's not happening. Now, if you are already a shareholder of eBay as a retail investor and you want this deal to happen, you would like to get $62.50 a share for your stock, and you'd like to get 2.5 shares of the new Gme when it's all said and done, there's one way you can ensure the deal will happen. Buy more eBay stock. Go ahead and buy eBay stock at 107, 108. Right now trading at 108, by the way. It's down 13 cents. It's coming up. Because if you own more eBay stock when the tender offer is made, and that could be made in the next week or two, and you vote for the deal, you've just added more shares to your vote to make this thing happen. And every shareholder that votes yes, with the number of shares you have, is against the board of directors who are saying, don't take this deal, don't take this deal. There is no better deal unless another company steps up in the next few days and says, we'll pay 125 cash for all of it, or 130 cash for all of it, or whatever, a better deal, then you've got a better deal. Remember this too, in plain English, if GameStop makes a tender offer today, just theoretically, and a week from now, company B comes in, this so-called white knight company comes in, and they offer a tender offer, and the board of directors accepts it and it says, we take this deal, we're going to take this deal. Shareholders have the right to vote on that offer as well. And so shareholders can take the best deal for themselves. They don't have to worry about taking one deal and now you're locked in. You got ways to go. And so with eBay, with GameStop, if they come up with a 30-day, 60-day, 90-day deal, that gives the board of directors 30, 60, 90 days to get a better deal. That could be good for shareholders of eBay. So the bigger a shareholder you are, and if there are millions of players out there who want this deal to happen, including GameStop people, if you're a GameStop shareholder, you might want to buy some eBay stock and become a voter to say, yeah, I'm going to take this deal, because you have a vested interest in being taken out. As a matter of fact, you have an interest to use your ability, your marginability of your GameStop to buy eBay shares and then become a voter of the eBay takeover deal by your own company. It's so simple. It's laughable. And yet Wall Street is just poo-pooing this deal left, right, and center. Oh, the company's only 1/4 of the size. eBay is so much larger. There's so much uncertainty here. Uncertainty? Really? I think Ryan Cohen has been pretty straightforward as to what is going to happen. I'll tell you what the uncertainty is. There's an unemployment line waiting for boards of directors and senior officers and a whole bunch of overpaid people at eBay. That's the uncertainty. Just like there's uncertainty at Amazon and at Meta and at Google and at any other company you want to mention who have seen tens of thousands of employees get let go or notified that we're cutting our employment staff by 10% or more. AI is all the uncertainty out there. And so eBay, as it is right now, I can tell you that if this deal hadn't been going through, eBay has already announced 800 layoffs. There's going to be thousands more at eBay no matter what happens. If you're an employee of eBay, your days are numbered. And I would say if you're a shareholder of eBay as an employee, I would vote for the takeover offer. Why? You're getting cashed out, half cash and stock, which could be worth even more than the stock you have now. And it's a better win. You're going to lose your job. I'm sorry. Many of you are going to lose your job at eBay, but you may as well be paid handsomely going out the door. As it is right now, you're getting nothing. The board of directors are going to vote for additional layoffs to streamline the efficiency of the company going forward. They're going to try to do everything to save their asses. And that means you employees at eBay, half of you are going to be let go. in the next year anyway. And now it's a question of what termination deal can you get without any benefit of the stock. The stock might sit around 105, 110 because the board of directors seems to be doing something great. But I don't think that's the way it's going to go. I think if Ryan Cohen has lined up the $20 billion, and you'll know shortly, very shortly, he's going to put in a tender offer. That is my opinion. That is my guess. He's going to put a tender offer to the shareholders to say, this is the deal, $125, $62.50 in cash, the other half in stock, which will guarantee a $125 minimum payout. We'll work the ratio, and it's the deal on the table for you. And I don't think there'll be anybody making a better offer. Because why would a third company, another company, come in and offer 130 all cash? They're now going to have to come up with $60 billion in nothing but cash to take over a company that they know they're going to have to strip down and rejigger from scratch. There is no one out there with the time and the effort and the experience to do it. Ryan Cohen can do it. There's the deal. And so anyway, that's this man's humble opinion. Other ways to take advantage of this deal, stock option ways. There's ways to do it through the stocks, through stock option writing. I've talked about this, credit spreads. I've talked about even doing cash secured puts. If you want to learn how to do that, you've got a couple of things to work on. One, you can go to my channel and look at the previous video I've done on this deal. And you can also go to my website, stockmarketswithbruce.ca, and head over to my website and get yourself some of these classes that I put up on how to become a stock option writer. That is what you need to do. Here's the address right here. I hope it'll pop up. Stockmarketswithbruce.ca. That's my website. And head over there and check out the deal. Like I said, kids, this is only the opening rounds of this deal. I have an opinion on it. I think that eBay is going to take over, that GameStop's going to take over eBay. And I don't think the board of directors can stop it. They can play shenanigans with legals and lawsuits and all this crap. But at the end of the day, it's going to cost the shareholders of eBay nothing but money and a lower stock price. And that's not going to work too well. This deal on the table, I think is going to make eBay shareholders a lot of money, a lot more value than the stock is even trading at, and the better than the offer that's on the table. But that's just this guy. I'm just a guy in front of a computer, in front of a whiteboard, telling you, I think a tender offer is the next step in this process. Let me know your thoughts. Always keep it respectful. Thank you for the thumbs ups that you give this video, and thank you for subscribing to this channel. I really appreciate it. We'll keep you posted on the latest updates as they keep coming out, and we'll talk to you next time. This is Bruce from Calgary, Uncle Bruce saying bye for now. We'll talk to you later. Thank you very much.